Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the DC Collectibles, DC Comics Designer Series, Greg Capullo, the New 52 Batgirl, 7-inch scale figure. Alright you guys, and here is our Batgirl figure in the packaging. And as you can see, this is the same style of packaging that debuted in the DC Collectibles Designer Series lineup last year. It's a pretty nice looking box. For Batgirl, you get like a yellow kind of theme. It says this is number 12 in the Designer Series. And on the back, gives us a look at some of the other figures in this series, such as Batman Zero Year, Two-Face, Commissioner Gordon, and of course, Batgirl. Alright you guys, and here is Batgirl out of the packaging, and this is the second Batgirl figure that DC Collectibles has released over the course of the last year. Of course, the first one, which we will compare them a little bit later, was the DC Collectibles New 52 Batgirl. This newer one is based off her New 52 appearance, but it is based off the artwork of Greg Capullo, whereas the other one is based off the artwork of Jim Lee. From an aesthetic standpoint, I do think she looks very nice. The sculpt work on this Batgirl figure looks to be very good. Similarly, the paint work is very nice matte black to the costume with some pretty glossy looking gloves and boots. And she does come with a few accessories, which we'll look at in just a moment. Give you a close-up here of her head. As you can see, it's quite nice. I mean, the sculpt work on it is really good. The eyes do look a little bit too big, and it's kind of a little bit freaky looking as a result. The other one, I think, looks a little bit more natural. And again, we will compare them in just a moment. But just looking at this one, the eyes are painted very nicely, and they do look quite organic, but they're just too large. But really good work on the paint. Same for her lips. They're painted very nice. It looks like she's wearing lip gloss, which is, pretty cool. She does have a little bit of a blemish there at the top of the mask. Other than that, I mean, it's good looking. The hair, it's quite nice. Reddish auburn kind of coloring to it. Nice sculpt work. It's kind of billowing a little bit like in the wind. The rest of the costume is also very, very good. Really like the bat emblem on her chest. I think it looks great. You can see all the panel lining and a very armored look to her combat suit. And I just think it looks terrific. Really like the look of the belt as well. Of course, the coloration on the bat and the belt, the back of the cape, the gloves, and the boots, it's kind of like this glossy, goldish yellow color. And I know that the camera seems to be making it look a little bit more of a bright yellow than it actually is. It's more of a deeper kind of yellowish gold, almost like a mustard sort of color. You can see that on her biceps right there. There's kind of like a little bit of glossy paint. I really like it when they paint the blacks like in different, shades and, levels of shininess, because I just think it brings a lot more detail out from the figure. And same is kind of true in there. You can see she's got some shiny bits right there. The cape itself looks quite nice, very nicely sculpted, very soft and pliable. Of course, the underside is just, this yellowish gold color. You can see more panel lining there on her backside. Very nice. The gloves themselves look very good. She's got the little blades right there on the gloves, and very nice sculpt work on her legs. I think her lower legs are sculpted very nicely, and of course she's got wedge heels, which the other one didn't really have wedge heels, not like this anyway. So all in all, very nice looking figure. Imperfect, but aesthetically it's very pleasing. In the way of articulation, Batgirl has a ball joint at the head. It is very stiff, as tends to be the case on a lot of DC Collectibles figures with the joints. You can't really go up and down on it at all, and the hair back here kind of hinders its side-to-side movement. She has ball joints at both of her shoulders, but once again, they are hindered, by this area here in the shoulders. She's got bends there at both of her elbows. You can rotate her gloves. She has swivels at both of the hips. She's got rotations at both of the upper legs. She's got bends at the knees, and then rotations at both of the boots. Now, she is a bit hard to stand, and it does seem that you have to kind of angle one or both of her boots out just a little bit in order to get her to balance. In the way of accessories, Batgirl comes with 3 batarangs, and they're very simple shape to them, and they're basically like a semi-glossy sort of black. Unfortunately, she does not hold all three of them at once, like we saw with the designer series Greg Capullo Batman. But you can give her one of them at least, sort of. Her hand is a little bit open, a little too open for holding these, so it's not really a good fit, but seems to be okay right there. And now I'll give you a comparison of the Greg Capullo Batgirl along with the Jim Lee Batgirl. There's things that I like about both of them and things that I don't like a whole lot. Let me start off with what I like. I really like the Greg Capullo Batgirl's outfit. I really think that the coloration and the sculpt work on it is very nice. Her chest area looks pretty natural. The bat emblem, I think, is really, really good. The cape, looks quite nice. I really like the boots and the wedged heels on the Greg Capullo Batgirl. On the Jim Lee Batgirl, I really like the face. I think it's very pretty. She's kind of got the hint of a smile, just like you tend to see her sometimes on the comic book covers. Her hair is a more pretty color. It's like a deeper red. The makeup on her face looks a little bit nicer. Her skin tone looks a little more natural. What I don't like about them is her face, to me, just seems a little bit too stylized. The eyes just look too big. It's almost kind of got like an anime sort of influence to it, which I'm just not digging a whole lot. I do like the shape of the mask. I think the mask is great, but the eyes being too large and, the face and the hair, I just think are a lot better on this other Batgirl. That being said, I don't think her outfit is quite as nice as this one. I like the deeper goldish yellow that they have on her accents, whereas this one's more of just like a vibrant yellow. But she's definitely got the better head. If they would have taken this figure's body and, made that head for this body specifically, I think this would have been perfect. But as it is, I can't really say that one or the other is better. I know that this one is really cheap right now on Amazon. It's like $14 or so. I got mine back in, I think it was April or May. I picked mine up from Amazon. It was like around $20 or so. So definitely a good deal. I'm sure you can get that one pretty inexpensively as well. I do think that this one is a little bit more nicely articulated because not only does she have the swivels at the biceps, but she's also got ball hinging at her hips, which is a huge plus. So aesthetically, I think overall that the Greg Capullo one is a nicer figure. But if you're looking for something that's a better toy all around with more articulation, then I would recommend to you the Jim Lee Batgirl. And now here's our designer series Greg Capullo Batgirl along with our designer series Greg Capullo Batman figures. They scale up together pretty nicely. Batgirl's a little bit tall, but I'm pretty sure it's because of her wedged heels. Unfortunately, you can't have Batgirl hold all three batarangs the way you can with Batman, which I just think is a really cool touch that they gave him. As you can see, though, the capes are pretty similar. I mean, you can certainly tell that these are a little bit of a different style than the Jim Lee designs. But she does look good next to Batman, and, that is important, that she scales up with him pretty well. The deep black matte coloring of Batgirl's costume is a lot like the designer series Catwoman that we recently looked at. It just has that very deep black to it, that has a little bit of a sheen to it, just giving it a very attractive look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the DC Collectibles, DC Comics Designer Series, Greg Capullo, the New 52 Batgirl. Overall, I gotta say, it's a very nicely done figure. I'm really digging the look of the outfit. The costume is just very, very nice. Her proportions are really, really nicely done. Absolutely loving the way that they sculpted her. The costume looks incredible. She's decently articulated. I would have liked to have seen, a little bit more, maybe some ball-hinged hips, ball-hinged torso, swivels at the biceps. Just a little bit more movement out of her head also would have been great. So on that front, I think that from an aesthetics perspective, this Greg Capullo Batgirl is a nicer looking figure, but for a more well-rounded action figure, I would say that the Jim Lee version is better on that front. But all in all, I am pretty pleased with it. I just think that it could have been a little bit better, especially in terms of articulation. But as it is, it's a pretty good figure, and I like it a good bit. And if you're collecting the DC Collectibles line of New 52 figures, then I imagine you're going to like it quite a bit. All right, my friends, if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this figure, whether or not you think that the Jim Lee version is a better figure, or how you feel about either one of them. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.